But you said it in that funny manner. I thank you very much.
Welcome back. Ground Zero Season 2 continues.
Welcome back from that very short break. This is UBC Ground Zero. We're broadcasting live on 4 radio stations: UBC Radio here in Kampala, Nile Avenue, Nakaselo Hill, and we're also live and clear on Match 100 FM, covering central parts of this country. We're also live and clear on Butebo Radio in eastern Uganda. We're also live and clear on Western Nile FM in Western Nile. Ampaire Amonotega is my name, and today in our Ground Zero, we're discussing Kiswahili and multilingualism, achieving more together. President Museveni previously said that we are linked people, we are interconnected, we are the same people, and we should use Kiswahili as a social infrastructure for two main reasons: prosperity for all and strategic security. And it says that Europeans have developed but have not developed faster if they had this common language, and which we can use as African people to move faster in as far as development is concerned. Keep your messages coming through. I'll be reading one by one, and allow me go back in the studios. And you've heard from the president, you have heard from uh, all the speakers that were in the symposium. And yesterday, I'm glad that you're recommending Honorable Rebecca Kadaga for the efforts, and Mama Janety, the Minister of Education, for all the efforts. But 23 years later, when East Africa was established, July 7th, 2000, we are now 23 years, and we're still preaching about Kiswahili as a common language. UNESCO introduced this in 1950s. I don't know how many years are those, but we're not yet there. What is hindering us as the people of East Africa, as the people of Uganda? Let me start with you, Mwarimu. You are in the field for some time back. You lead of Kiswahili, Uganda National Kiswahili Association. You are a leader, you are a teacher, you are Ugandan, you are an East African. Why are we not yet there in 23 years of East African community, in 150 something years of UNESCO? What is hindering us? Let's look into the challenges. In that, because as most doctors say, if you don't diagnose the disease, you may not know what you're treating. Mwarimu?
Hello. In reference to Uganda, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Now, that one goes directly to policy. Now, that is number one. This policy, let me also stretch, as my colleague discussed about this. I go to East Africa. You are aware, you read in the news, the Kiswahili tunasema mvutano between Yala member from South Sudan and Yala member from DRC, whereby a honorable member from DRC wanted to deliver her point in Kiswahili, then the other one from DRC, from South Sudan, rejected. And our East African Community Treaty puts English as the working language in the parliament. Okay? So he was basing on that one to stop this member of parliament to put across her point in Kiswahili. It didn't go well with me, actually, with the Kiswahili fraternity. We are talking about Pan-Africanism, East African community as one community, and Kiswahili actually is now one of the official languages, including French. So the policy, you can see how this person did not allow a colleague to present the views in Kiswahili. And this one, I think, should stop. Neocolonialism. Tunapozungumzia ukoloni mambo leo, this is it. Tunatembea tukirudi nyuma. That is now the policy at that level. It was not good. And for us as the Kiswahili community in Uganda, we condemn that in the strongest term possible. You cannot, our own. So where are we putting our Kiswahili? And which language are you fighting for that should be used? You can imagine. I'm not going to mention about that. Then when we come back here to Uganda, the same story. He talked about the policy, the Kiswahili is the second official language according to the constitution, but it is not functional. That article is not functional. We have our MPs in parliament. Why don't we operationalize this important article and we use it? Number two, there are very many policies, especially in education, about Kiswahili. You are aware that we are supposed to teach Kiswahili as a compulsory subject right from primary school. Yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister, when she was presenting or reading the message from His Excellency, I heard that Kiswahili is taught from primary kuendelea. I want to bring out this clearly. I don't know, these are the informations or misinformation which our leaders get from down. It is not true. It is, we put it on record. It is not true that Kiswahili is taught right from primary. What is true is that government of Uganda bought Kiswahili books, distributed them in all primary schools in Uganda. Under National Curriculum Development Center, they went ahead and identified the time on the timetable for Kiswahili. It is there. Teachers for Kiswahili since 2013 have been trained. That is through primary teachers colleges under Chambogo. 2013 to date, we have been producing. Kiswahili has been taught in primary teachers colleges as a compulsory subject. Principally, we have Kiswahili teachers to teach Kiswahili in primary school. So books in the library, teachers are there. The time for Kiswahili is there on the timetable, but Kiswahili is not taught, apart from few private primary schools around Kampala and the other parts of the country, very few. But by policy, we are not seeing this taking place. Even the government went ahead to train CCTs, these are center coordinating tutors, to supervise the teaching of Kiswahili. They were trained in basic Kiswahili so that they are able to supervise and monitor. But all this is not done. Everything is in place. Now, on a positive note, I want to thank the government by making Kiswahili a compulsory subject in senior 1 and senior 2 all over the country. That is a credit, compulsory. But still on that, I request that let this Kiswahili now come back. Let it start from primary, and not from P4 as the proposal is. Let it begin from primary 1, because as linguists we know at an early age a child can learn more than 3 languages comfortably. So let Kiswahili begin from primary 1. Say that when this child reaches P7, is grounded, is competent in Kiswahili, and he can proceed up to senior 4. Actually, not only in primary, then from senior 3, where it is optional, let also that be changed and it becomes compulsory up to senior 4. There we shall be comfortable that the generation to come, they will be competent in Kiswahili. They can speak the language. They would be speaking the language comfortably, listen to the language, write and read Kiswahili. That is how we are going to make it. It is our humble request to the government of Uganda, and these are some of the challenges now you are talking about. Kiswahili is not taught in primary, but we have it at senior 1 and 2 compulsory. Now senior 3, 4 optional. These are some of the policies which are inconsistent and are not going to see us really progress in as far as Kiswahili is concerned. Then another challenge is some officials in these ministries who are not actually coming up clearly to give right information. For example, Uganda has more than enough Kiswahili teachers. That is to teach Kiswahili in all schools in Uganda and to have the surplus for export. But this information
about that, sir?
Oh, I have the records with me here. And we have, for example, we have our WhatsApp groups like 4 from from associations which are under Chakitao. So one time we were trying to register the Kiswahili teachers in Uganda, secondary school teachers. In 1 week, we managed to capture over 4,000 using WhatsApp. Remember, there are other teachers without these phones, the smartphones.
Smartphones.
Yes. The other teachers who are there, who are where network does not reach. But we managed to get over 4,000 teachers, and we have the list with us. I can produce and I show it to you. We have the records here. Now, but this information, for example, we expected like yesterday to showcase that this is where we are. These are some of the challenges that we're talking about.
The potential that we have as a country.
Yes, we did not show what we are to the world. That opportunity was not given to us.
Maybe you did not utilize the opportunity as well.
We were on the program. But because I think of the protocol and the time, we are not given the chance. But we are supposed to showcase. We have, are you aware, Mr. Moderator, that we have now 12 PhDs in Uganda in Kiswahili?
12.
These are scholars automatically.
All here, or they have gone to seek green pastures outside?
They are leaders. No, we are all here. No, apart from the Executive Secretary for East African Kiswahili Commission, Simwe Caroline. But the rest of us, we are here teaching Kiswahili in universities. And we have over 80 masters, personnel. They are there from Islamic University in Uganda. We should give credit to Islamic University in Uganda, the only university in Uganda which has produced Kiswahili technical people at master's level. Apart from now, maybe one of the universities which has come on board last year, but it is only IU. Then, over how many universities teach Kiswahili? Almost every university is now teaching Kiswahili at undergraduate. So we have these teachers.
All right.
This information is not coming out clearly, and we should now put it clear that we are able. Another thing, these teachers, Kiswahili is compulsory, right? But these teachers are not employed by the government. How do we promote the language, especially in the educational institutions, when the teachers are not employed? Actually, right away from even the PhDs, some of them have no government jobs. So government, as now we are doing to have the deliberate efforts, let these teachers be absorbed in schools, even in private schools, and are paid government salaries as a deliberate effort of promoting and developing Kiswahili in Uganda. Those teachers are not there. Then on the side of Kama, because Uganda is part of East Africa, when we go outside, now that we have these people, we have seen in media that Tanzania, Kenya are entering into partnership with the countries like Russia, China, Botswana, South Africa, Colombia, to mention but a few. That these countries are mentioning, they are entering into partnership to teach Kiswahili. They want human resource from these countries. So in the face of these countries, when you talk of Kiswahili, they will only look at Tanzania and Kenya. And actually, according to the theme of this year, Uganda is in a better position to teach and to do related jobs to language Kiswahili in those countries because of multilingualism. Ugandans can speak very well good English. Now they have trained in Kiswahili, and ours is pure because ours has been picked from class. So it is standard.
Do we have pure and duplicate Kiswahili?
Oh, right. Yeah, yes. Like he was talking about the Sheng in Kenya. That is not Kiswahili, really. It is Sheng, as you hear. It is not standard Kiswahili. You go to even Tanzania, these people who speak from the streets, you'll find that they don't speak the standard what? But
Standard
ours,
Kiswahili.
because it is picked from class, it is the standard what? Kiswahili. So we have an upper hand in doing such jobs. So we are not, we request that East African Kiswahili Commission looks at that and connects Ugandan scholars, Ugandan technical people in Kiswahili to have those jobs in those countries. That is very key.
All right.
Thank you so much. So those are some of the challenges and of course the negative connotations which you have already shared about. And those ones really have no position. You have had His Excellency himself. Some people want to feel that they are big fish in small what?
And small ponds.
Small ponds, which is really it doesn't help us as a country. Thank you so much.
Interesting. Opio sends a message from Entebbe and says, "Thank you for the show. My question is, whose responsibility to make sure that Kiswahili is learned and spoken?" Abraham, start from there.
Asante Opio, kwa hoja yako hiyo na swali lako. I'm happy you have asked that. Opio, it is your responsibility. Usimuulize mwingine. Don't ask for anybody who it will benefit or who should promote it. Like you have interested yourself to listen to this program, you will interest yourself to teach, to learn, to promote, to advocate for Kiswahili. Kiswahili is for all of us. There is no winner, my brother Amon, the moderator. There is no winner in a sinking boat.
You're all thinking.
You are all going to sink. If Uganda
I'm going to die.
If Uganda is failing on a trade because of lack of communication, it is our economy that is limiting us. It is us failing. If your business is going to collapse because of lack of communication, if you are going to fail to travel, if you go to church, my sister, and you are singing Mwana Kondo wa Mungu, in churches, we have these songs. Mwana Kondo wa Mungu. Now, you are singing Swahili. Ni wa milele wa baraka. You are singing Swahili, Mr. Opio. Swahili is in your church. Right there. Swahili is at home. So I want to say, my brother has talked about policy issues, attitude issues. Actually, I would emphasize more on attitude, because why do you think, Mr. Pio, in your school, and dear colleagues, dear listeners, in your schools, were you made to wear bones and sacks because of natural speaking? Because you speak your Kigisu, because you speak your Kinyankore, they make you what? Give a punishment. They want you to speak a colonial language. Now here we have our own language. My brother talked about teaching of Kiswahili in primary school. It is left optional. Those who want to teach primary school, in primary school Kiswahili, they teach. But most primary schools are not emphasizing. Why? It is not examined. UNEB does not examine Kiswahili at primary level. At senior 4, optional. Now they are saying compulsory senior 1, compulsory senior 2. After that, so what? What will happen? So those issues, where are you, UNEB? Can you give a hand and put your mandate very clear? Examine Kiswahili in 6 years. Kiswahili will be everywhere in all homes, all schools, where children are being examined. They bring homework at home. Where mzazi, the parent, you will help in that exercise, in the test. Don't wait for your child to fail when you can actually help this child in your home. And as he learns Kiswahili, these things are more or less the same. As he learns English, I want to use another minute, ndugu moderator, and teach you one song. Kichwa, mabega, magoti, miguu, magoti, miguu, magoti, miguu, kichwa, mabega, magoti, miguu. Unasikia? Are you people enjoying? Do you know that song or you don't know that song? Can you join me and we use this language? Doesn't it sound nice? You are singing head and shoulders, knees and toes, which you even don't know. You just say head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees. You don't know. This is ours. This is Kiswahili. It's ours. Kichwa, mabega, magoti, miguu. You already know. You have kichwa, the head. You have magoti, the knees. You have pua, mdomo, macho, eyes and nose. Just follow that and you will have learned Kiswahili. Lastly, ndugu. Someone talked about standard Kiswahili and unstandard and whatever. We are talking about Kiswahili of wider communication. Nobody is going to arrest you that you have said, Reta chikombe hicho. That you have said, that you have used the proper. Someone sent me a message last evening after the show, after our workshop, and he was telling me that mimi naenda kuleta vyukurya. It is okay. Congratulations, my sister. You are doing very well. Mimi naenda kuleta food. You are doing very well. Tomorrow that food you will put it in Kiswahili and it will be nitaenda kuleta chakula. So the standard is there, but we are talking about language of communication. Don't complicate things for yourselves. This language is there to help us communicate. Another one sent me a message. Mimi ndi mwanafunzi wa Kiswahili. Ninarupenda sana. Lakini majizi wangu ni madogo. This is a doctor, the PhD holder. Someone somewhere anapenda Kiswahili. Oh my
he
God.
loves Kiswahili.
Anapenda. Are you seeing? You are following the communication yes. She was making. So I want to say, go out, go to your Owino, go to the taxi, put that radio. Put your listen to Kiswahili. If you find a newspaper article in Kiswahili, please don't discard it. Embrace it, and we are able to reach everywhere. Chameleon songs. This one was talking about chameleon songs. You are enjoying. Kipepe, my friend, you are enjoying Kiswahili. There is another musician in Mbarara, Muhoz Julius. I want to acknowledge him. He has, and many others, by the way, very many others who have sung in Kiswahili. So in music industry, creative arts, and many others, like I said, in religion, they are there. There is a saying, I think I quote Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, marehemu. Alisema, nia tunayo, uwezo tunao, sababu tunayo. Nia tunayo. We have the willingness. We have the will to teach and learn Kiswahili. We like it. Sababu tunayo. The reason to study it is there. The reason to promote it is there. And then he says, uwezo tunao. Ability, we have it. The lecturers, the teachers, he has told you thousands and thousands of teachers are there. Uganda has very many teachers. Some are part-timing in schools. Why? Because of the need. They are going here and there and there and there and there. Why? Because they are required. So let everyone embrace it. Mr. Opio, I hope I have answered you very well. You will join me in those. Nia tunayo, sababu tunayo, na uwezo tunao. Asante sana.
Karibu. Margaret didn't put where he's sending messages, his message from, but says, you, the educated, are not reaching the communities. So that is the concern raised by the people of Uganda, and someone didn't put a name and the place. It says there are no materials for Kiswahili. Maybe they're less or what. And also someone says, I like the program. Thank you for educating us. And I like Swahili. But the Luganda has taken over everywhere in Uganda. Ndio, our time is not on our side, but also someone says, and it's called Ben, is listening from Boyogiri and says, which group should be the priority to make sure that at least in 20 years, Uganda will be speaking Kiswahili?
Asante sana. Once again, my name is Ndio Jackson. I would like to answer that question. The best group that would see us, not even 20 years, in 10 years, that Uganda will be a fully Kiswahili speaking person, are the young people. The young people I represent. If the young people, the young generation, embraces Kiswahili, it will indeed be spoken by the whole Uganda in 10 years. Like my professor said, that if we embrace it in primary school and it is compulsory, a parent will not accept his or her kid to fail homework because it is in Kiswahili. There will be extensive effort by parents to see that those learning materials are provided to the children, like they always did for us in English, because they found that we really needed to learn English, so they made all efforts to see that we learn English. So it's the same thing. So I called upon the Minister of Education under the command of the First Lady, Mama Janet Kata Museveni, to please, with our humble request, make Kiswahili compulsory from day one to the end, because it is the only way that is going to help our people attain a desirable economic transformation. Like the president always says that Ugandans are always kukorera chidachonka. He always calls it kukorera chidachonka. It is the same thing. We are always speaking our language for our chidachonka. We don't want to learn languages that are going to sell us globally. Right now, Kiswahili is spoken by 200 million people in the world. More than 200 million people in the world. Where are we as Ugandans? Why are we not among them? Yet we neighbor where it was born. So I ask people and the youth to love Kiswahili. Like my professor said, that it is no problem for you to say, nataka a cup. It is very okay. The next day, you will make a cup, you will say a cup in Kiswahili. And that is how the gradual process will be. And you will learn as we go on. And the other thing that Uganda is very lucky that we are going to be the best speakers of Swahili. It being that the Swahili we are getting it from the best, from the professors. We are getting it from school, other than other Swahili speaking groups that have just learned it on the street. For us, we are getting it from school. So let's learn it, like it, love it, and it will become our language. And the other thing, the other day I was listening to the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, Thomas Tayebwa, when he was, and is my good friend, when he was saying that when he goes to an international delegation to negotiate for Uganda, him being the Speaker of Uganda, he really found it hard that when he was negotiating with the Chinese, for example, turned to their language and came to a consensus of something. But for him, when he was with his fellow Africans from another part of Africa, and they wanted also to have a secret to speak, they didn't have any language to speak. They are secrets. So they had to use English, and the Chinese were here, were listening to what they were speaking. So it ceased to be a secret. So we then don't have a language that can help us to negotiate on international level. So let's embrace the language, and it will lead us to our desirable goals. Thank you.
Interesting. You're still listening to UBC Ground Zero on 98.0 FM here in Kampala, Nile Avenue, Nakasero Hill, and also live and clear on Match 100 FM in central parts of Uganda. We are live and clear on Utebo Radio in eastern parts of this country and Western Nile FM in Western Nile. We are talking about Kiswahili and multilingualism, achieving more together. And in the studios of UBC, we have Mwalimu or Dr. Lubuka Yunus is coming from Chambogo University and is the same person who is the president of National Kiswahili Association. We also have Honorable Ndio Jackson Mtala is the chairperson NRM Youth Volunteers and is coming from Chejigwa District. And also we have a privilege to have Abram Kwakurunji Chagungu is coming from Bishop Stewart University and is the same person who is teaching Kiswahili at Ntale School, as many call it the only school. I don't know where others are, and I don't know what you consider to be the only school. Ampaire Amanotega is my name, and time is not on our side. I'm going to request our guests to give the way forward. We have had it all. We have discussed everything, challenges. We have looked at the opportunities that are available when we embrace this Kiswahili language. Malim, the way forward.
Thank you. Allow me to say this before.
Please.
One of the listeners said that Kiswahili, we don't have materials for Kiswahili. That's not true, because as I put it, we have materials which were even distributed in all primary schools in Uganda. Materials which were distributed in PTCs, now in secondary schools all over. Publishing houses in Uganda have Kiswahili materials written by Ugandans for a Ugandan what? Child. That is a credit. And another one said, yes, Kiswahili is good, Uganda is all over. It is okay, as we said, that these local languages are okay. The theme is multilingualism. Let these languages come up. And on the policy issue, yesterday we had someone from DRC, a representative from DRC. The DRC has 4 national languages or official languages. South Africa, they have over 7 official languages. It is okay. We can also let us work on the language policy here in Uganda. It is all well, but what we are emphasizing is that let us come out of the box. We think out of the box and we learn Kiswahili as an important language. Now, way forward. 1, government has plans. Actually, government is in the final stages, according to the information we got yesterday, of establishing a national Kiswahili council. So if we have a national Kiswahili council in place, it will be a very big step towards promoting and developing Kiswahili in Uganda, because every issue to do with Kiswahili in Uganda, it will be now under the National Kiswahili Council. Number 2, lined ministries, that is Ministry of Education, Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Ministry of East Africa. In the meantime, let us have the Kiswahili desks in these offices. These are jobs created. In each ministry, let us have a desk where we have a Kiswahili technical person who is going to coordinate the Kiswahili activities in the country. We have these people in these ministries, it will help us so much. But you find someone who is now in charge of Kiswahili. Yes, you might, some of them, they are there and they don't have the goodwill for Kiswahili. They are only there to harvest. But if we have the technical persons in those offices, they will help in promoting the language. One of the listeners said that we, the educated people,
are not reaching to the communities.
and yes, and that is another issue. Actually, that is true. But as educated people, for us, our role is to teach now in the formal system, Kiswahili. That is why now we came out as stakeholders to form the National Kiswahili Association. Such that now this through this association, we reach out to the community in the first place. We do the advocacy, sensitization, and now adult literacy.
When you mentioned that your target is informal education, I thought those who are out of school have no chance and opportunity to learn.
No. And now with this, the informal, this would be now these ministries engaging the National Association and other technical people in Kiswahili, so that we have programs like adult literacy. Like yesterday, I was talking about some of the challenges.
Okay.
We expected to have, for example, the music association to be represented. This is a very key sector, but we didn't have we know we have the UMA, those people, they have their associations, but we didn't see any association there.
Your last comment,
lastly, the Kasita business community now, the Kasita were not invited, but these are the people in the informal sector who would ensure that Kiswahili takes root in the informal sector and everybody enjoys the language in their ways. Thank you so much.
All right. Honorable Ndio, your last comment and the way forward.
Yeah, thank you. As my colleague said, the government has planned to establish the National Kiswahili Council. That will be a very great step forward, and with it, the council, all the Kiswahili matters will be represented and will be presented, and Ugandans, all learners, will have where to refer if need be.
All right. Abram, your last comment?
My last comment is to thank all listeners and to invite you. Kiswahili is making very big breakthroughs, and I would love to request all of you to invest. How do they say it? You want to reap where you did not sow. But let's invest. Let's not just speak Swahili and then benefit from it. Let's invest in it. There is adult literacy. At Bishop Stewart University, where I teach, we have certificates. We have a language center. To know that actually Swahili goes hand in hand with other languages. We teach all these languages, and we have a Swahili hub. It's a Swahili center, and we teach it for adult learners. If you want Swahili for communication purposes, you are a trader, you are an IT person, you are a business, or someone was talking about line ministries, education, and other sectors. There are many. Transport, tourism, industry, judiciary. Where are these policies going to come from? Ministry of Finance and Planning, where are you? So everybody is involved on transport, on trade. Where are you, Minister of Trade? What is happening to our economy? Local government, where are you leaders, local leaders? Actually, there was a proposal that if you are going to stand for any elective position, Kiswahili should be a prerequisite. How are you going to lobby for your people outside Uganda? So let it be a requirement. You honorable minister, you want a position in IARA. You don't know any even habari gani, and you are going to represent Uganda's interests? No, you are lying. Come on board. Embrace this language. Let's promote it. Let's invest in it. Let's not fight each other. Fena bagenda kutulia ate turwanira wano enimi zaffe ziggwawo ez'ekyafrika anti mwagala tugere Uganda. Kakati our languages are dying in Africa, and then we are fighting. We want Uganda to be the one to be national. We want Runyango to be let Kiswahili be national language. Let Uganda be national language. Let Kigis be national language. They are all ours. We are going to benefit when we support each other to reach greater heights. Kiswahili and Multilingualism, achieving more together for God and my country.
Asante sana, asante sana. I thought maybe I can give allow me give my 1 minute to Mwalimu to give last comment in Kiswahili.
Asante sana mfawidhi wa kipindi hiki cha Ground Zero. Tumefurahi sana na tumefarijika kuwa wageni wako siku ya leo, na tuna matumaini kwamba wageni wetu ambao walikuwa wanatusikiliza mahali walipo wameweza kunufaika na mawasilisho yetu. Sote pamoja kwa kuzungumza lugha ya Kiswahili tutaweza kujiendeleza, kuwa na amani, kuendeleza biashara, umoja na umajumui wa Afrika. Mungu atubariki, Mungu atupe uwezo na kutambua kwamba Kiswahili ni lugha yetu ambayo inafaa kuendelezwa. Shukran sana.
I think I got one word there. Mungu akubariki sana. Asante sana, asante sana. Wageni wetu, hii ni UBC Ground Zero, nawapenda sana, and watu wa Uganda tunawapenda sana, na watu wa East Africa. I hope I'm all right. Yeah, I told you I'm learning.
You are doing very well, Aman. The media fraternity you are representing very well. UBC is doing very well in support of Kiswahili.
Interesting.
So all media houses should copy.
We have so many programs actually, and all our radios and TVs that promote and use Kiswahili. Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of our discussion. It is UBC Ground Zero. We've been discussing Kiswahili and multilingualism and looking at how we can achieve more together. In the studios of UBC, I had Honorable Ndiho Jackson Mitala, is chairperson NRM Youth Volunteers, and is coming from Chejegwa District. We also had Dr. Luvoka Yunus, is the lecturer of Mwalimu from Chambogo University, and is the president of National Kiswahili Association, and also had the privilege to have Abraham Wakurunji Changungu, is a lecturer from Bishop Stewart University, and Mwalimu at Ntare School. More programs are coming your way on Magic 100 FM and Table Radio and Western Isle FM, and at UBC Red, George Ngovi is coming with On the Journey program. And many thanks to the team that I worked with, our technical team, Bob Brian Mugisha, our programs officer, Frank Yiga Masanyage, and executive producer, Doreen Ndezi, our producer, Msimeta Allen, and many others. I thank you for being a good listener from the time we started, and thank you for you choosing UBC radios as your most interesting and favorite radio stations, but also Ground Zero as your most favorite radio program. Until next time, same program, same stations, different topic and different guests, and maybe for good and my country. Allow me now to sign out.
That was Ground Zero Season 2, a production of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC, inspiring Uganda. It's hot.
We passed it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody showed. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the National Tenure System, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero Season 2, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Away.
This is Ground Zero Season 2. Stay tuned. We shall be right back.
Animals. Rains. Plants. Forests.